Hey everybody, so excited to have a person with us today named Bella Dangello, and she is as lovely as her name might sound. She's Beja. Her voice is wonderful today anyway. We can't take a peek at her because she's driving. She's at an undisclosed location, changing every moment. She's moving down the highway at breakneck speed, but she's joining us as a guest. She's going to be here for the Trevor Loudon program next week on the 27th here in Rochester. If you could hurry up and get tickets, you'll have the pleasure of seeing her in person. Beja, I'm your new fan. I'm a fan of your podcast. We're going to be checking that out. It'll be in the descriptions below this video. People can find you on Facebook and your podcast. They can subscribe, follow you. All of that will be in the links below. Beja, tell us, who the heck are you and where have you been all our lives?
Where have I been? In Minnesota as of the last 6 years, and then the oil fields of North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Texas for 6 years before that. And then I was back in Minneapolis in the manufacturing world, which is how I got my start on radio.
I can't imagine that a lot of Minnesota feminist type women could imagine an actual woman working in the oil fields of North Dakota, Oklahoma, out there on the rigs in Williston, living with the rat packs in the boomtown rats and all of that. You are a working class woman with an opinion. How dare you,
Yeah, shame on me, right?
You just don't fit the narrative somehow.
No, I never have. And I never fit into Minnesota. I never fit into Minnesota nice. I've always said that I wish I would have found the oil field a long time ago because that really was my true home. But nonetheless, I got started in this in 2009 because I really couldn't stand the direction of the country. I really couldn't stand the fact that a lot of people didn't understand what Obama was going to do. And I didn't feel that, Fox News was different than what it is now. And that's all that I watched. And I didn't even feel Fox News gave us the truth, which we don't even have truth in media anymore. But anyways, that's what got me started in my political activism. I got tired of people not understanding and waking up. And I wanted to be part of the movement and the activism to bring change to this country. And boy, we really now it's beyond. I don't even know where we're at right now in the country.
But Bella Dangello, where we're at is people like you coming out with your podcast and your online activity. You are the new media. You bemoan the loss of truth, but you're out there circumventing the traditional legacy media, the narrative of the failure, the doomers and the gloomers out there trying to sell, whether it's hopium on the side of Fox News or give upium on the sides of MSNBC and all of that. You're creating news in Minnesota. Your podcast is an inspiration. I listened to your show this morning with Ron Bransner. It was tremendous. Why did you decide to become a podcaster? All flattery aside, because you're an inspiration, I think, to other young women who might want to do the same thing because they see things going wrong in Minnesota.
So how it all got started was I worked for a manufacturing staffing company for 10 years. And my last year working for them, I was hearing the exact same thing on every manufacturing floor. All these CFOs, line leads, all these upper management people, nobody could retire. They didn't have any of their retirement money. Their stocks were gone. We were in a double dip, triple recession, just gloom and doom. All these companies were offshoring their businesses to Mexico and other areas because businesses couldn't even afford to keep their businesses here in the States. And I remember listening to Neil Cavuto interviewing Jay Heinz of the Heinz Ketchup Company. And when Cavuto was talking about the cost of Obamacare, Heinz flat out said he had no idea how to even evaluate their bottom line because they had no idea of the costs coming at them. And my big fear was that people weren't understanding what was going to happen to this country when all of the agendas, specifically Obamacare and amnesty, were shoved down the throats of Americans. And I was living it because I'm in the manufacturing floors, and the company I worked for was a staffing company, and I was competing against illegal immigrants that were being put into these manufacturing floors by other staffing companies.
The
right?
staffing companies receive a benefit or a headhunter's fee for parachuting in these so-called immigrants, right? So they get a percentage cut. It's a staffing company.
Well, I'll make it real simple. Take a manufacturing floor that has 100 temporary employees. I was coming in needing to pay them probably like say $10 an hour at a 1.5 markup. So the employees being paid $10, the company is being billed $15 an hour times 100. You know, you do the math. So that's just one day. Well, a staffing company with an illegal workforce can come in and pay the employee $7 an hour because they'll work for it. And then they'll charge a 1.2 markup on it. And at dollars and revenues like that, we couldn't even compete. But the dangerous thing that I saw was every manufacturing floor in Minneapolis had illegal immigrants in them already. So when a company is faced with Obamacare and the cost of it, in order for them to keep their doors open, what I believed was going to happen was you take a contingent workforce of say 100 people legal working full-time for that company, making say $15 an hour. In order for that company to hit their bottom line, possibly is when amnesty would be passed, that is making illegal legals, they would simply displace the people making $15 an hour and now put in the illegals that are legal at $8 an hour. Okay.
Excellent.
So the same concept is what happened in the construction world and in so many industries. So what I wanted was to be able to get this concept out there because nobody was talking about it. So I called Sean Hannity's radio show, September of 2009. I got through right away and I explained this concept to Sean. He came back and said a lot of people told him he didn't understand manufacturing, and the biggest battles that we faced was regulation, taxation, and on and on and on. And he understood what I was explaining. And then I told him we should get Trump for president. The reason I mentioned Trump is nobody in our government has ever been in the workforce. They've never actually been a working class citizen to
Biden,
understand
for example, it. Right? 48 years in government, right?
And I also knew that this business person needed to know how to run a very large business, with which Donald J. Trump knows. But more importantly, he had to have balls. Okay, you have to be able to know how to truly fight and fight on a level like what nobody else has ever seen, which is what Trump had to do when he was in office. But what that time on the radio with Sean, it gave me the fever for radio. It gave me the fever for wanting to explain ideas in a way that people that don't normally listen to talk radio could understand. And I also felt that there was room in the media for somebody that wasn't a groomed professional media person, someone who's actually out working, paying taxes, fighting and fearing all these things that these officials are doing to us. So by the time I moved to Williston, which was only a couple of months later, I got out to the drilling rigs. And because I'm a conservative woman, the guys up in the rigs couldn't believe, A, I was from Minnesota, but B, they all said that I would be on Fox one day. I said, I think that's a stretch, but I'd love to do radio. And a gentleman from Florida who ran for Senate found me on Twitter. And it's funny because you said that I could talk like a man. He thought I was pretty militant. He didn't know if I was a woman reading my tweets that I was putting out. But Tom was his name, and Tom did the American Hour out of Florida. And he asked me to join his podcast. And so I said, I will if you teach me how to do my own. Well, it wasn't much longer that I transitioned from selling drill bits to starting my own cleaning business. And then I started my podcast in March of 2010. And I did the podcast from my pickup truck every night after coming in from scrubbing toilets and running my cleaning business. And for 2 hours, 7 days a week, one listener at a time, brought truth with non-conspiracy, and just getting people to listen, learn, and get engaged and encourage people. But my show plays to an audience that doesn't typically listen to talk radio, but also the like-minded like yourself, with humor. Got to keep the humor in there.
Got to keep that humor. So you have a pickup truck. I'm learning that you sold drill bits. You know how to clean a toilet. And something people might not know about you is that you actually have a background in horseback riding, which I find a tremendous asset to this work because all of the women that I grew up with are strong, empowered women. My ancestors, my female ancestors, my female relatives, all women who knew how to chase bulls back into the bullpen on the farm. They didn't have pink or lime Kool-Aid flavored hair, but they knew how to be partners in building civilization and projects. So I know that the men on those oil rigs saw you as a partner and someone who was up there knowing what she's doing rather than just some diversity hire who, we got to have like 10% women on the drill here on the rig, otherwise we're not in compliance with some mandates. But this is incredibly empowering. You're on a podcast, you've got the Facebook presence, all of those links will be below in the description to this little video. And are you excited about seeing Trevor Loudon next week on the 27th? Are you excited about coming down to Rochester? It's going to be great to have you. I'm excited. You're going to be sitting at my table. And with a bunch of other patriots, what do you make of Trevor Loudon generally?
I'm very excited. Trevor is extremely intelligent. He is worldly, and he wants to talk about the election. He wants to talk about Attorney General Keith Ellison and also Ilhan Omar. And I'm excited. He'll be on the show April 6th. He's going to be on the show March 23rd to give a little promo. And then I finally get to meet you in person and sit at the table with you. And we're going to raise all kinds of hell and have tons of fun.
It is going to be wild and wacky, prime rib, potato, cheesecake for dessert, all kinds of laughter and fun. And it's going to be one of the safest rooms in Wabasha County, Olmsted County, Fillmore, Pierce, the whole southeastern Minnesota corridor. We are going to light it up when we get together. And what an inspiration to think there's going to be homeschoolers coming along and lots of teenagers, because we really need to get this message out to the future. It's not just important to get the senior citizens together and all of us blue hairs and gray hairs together for one more time. The thing is to reach out into the next century with Trevor Loudon's message and his really, it's a call to action. When you hear Trevor, he raises the roof.
Absolutely. Also, I heard when I booked my ticket, Jason Lewis, who ran against Tina Smith here in the last election, as well as former Senator Scott Jensen, who came out debunking the COVID numbers. And Jensen was on my show twice. He has now decided to put his hat in the ring for governor of Minnesota. It'll be very interesting. He, with being he's also a medical doctor, he does have some policies that I'm going to really ask him about. But I think he has a real chance at possibly winning. He's got that real Midwest, if you will. Midwest demeanor. He's very intelligent. He's very likable. So I want to hear what his campaign platform is.
There may be some other surprises too. In addition to Jason Lewis, we may see some other elected officials coming into the room. We hope there will be a couple of different sheriff's departments from different southeastern Minnesota counties. We can't call them out. We can't shout them out because some of the constituents might be upset that they will be there. There will be Minnesota state representatives and Minnesota state senators in attendance, as well as members of the BPOUs from Winona County, Wabasha County, Dodge, Mower, Olmsted, Fillmore, Pierce, and of course Wabasha. But of course, though, there's actually people coming all the way over from as far away as Mankato and the 3 different states that we know of. But it's just going to be a tremendous evening. Nearly 300 tickets sold. I think there's about 60 left. And we're told that we'll be adding on tables. I talked with Bev Snow today. Also, the ticketing information I can put in the description below this video as well. So if you want to lickety-split call up and have a ticket, reach out and the number will be there. So it's going to be a tremendous evening, a tremendous opportunity to learn. And I'm excited about it. And I can't wait to talk to you again. Bedya, do you have any final words you'd want to say before we sign off? It's getting a little bit long. You know, we want to beat the YouTube algorithm.
I just want to say real quick that during Obama's administration, it was very hard to get people to understand exactly just what they were up to in their purposeful destruction of America and the Constitution. If you look at the short period of time that Biden has been in office, the discussion now with your liberal friends, relatives, people you're standing in line with at the coffee shop, when you go to get your groceries, pay for your gas, which I encourage everybody to talk to as many people as possible and ask them, what is it that they are so excited about and encouraged by this administration? Boldly and in front of us, we have an administration that is knowingly opening our borders to illegal immigrants. They are on terror watch lists. They have COVID. And this is one of the biggest crimes against this country, whether it's during if you believe it's a pandemic, the fact that it is unconstitutional by executive order and usurping the legislature. By executive order, they are reversing everything that Trump did in this administration to completely, fundamentally destroy this country very quickly. All you have to do is look at the gas prices at the gas pump. I find that this will be an easier conversation, and I'm excited for 2022, and I'm excited for 2024. All we have to do is get the 74 million people that voted for Trump to grow into 84 million to take back the White House in 2024.
Very empowering, a based woman here in the Midwest who is in touch with her belly, her heart, and her head. She's speaking truth to power, folks. So look out. Once you've got the based women pissed off, you know you're in for a fight. I mean...
And God forbid if she's wearing steel-toe boots, then you gotta run like hell because you're gonna end up with one up here, you know what.
All the guys who know me right now know that I'm in love, but Bella, she has a boyfriend, so there's no chance for me, guys. Still, I'm hanging on, but don't worry, I'm not gonna sit and wait in the friend zone. I'm so happy that we have an ally like you on our side in this fight because, hey, I really truly believe that women's voices are important. I don't shut them off just because they're conservative. And I haven't really found a liberal female who's able to defend her positions. I mean, let alone men. They'll spout some latitudes and platitudes, but they don't really have any facts, reason, arguments, or evidence to back up what they're saying. Like you just said, the effect of having hundreds of thousands of these people pouring across the borders, and the Democrats are welcoming this, It's treason against our nation. I don't want to live in the third world. There was no need for this to happen. Our economy was booming. The China virus came along. They had to keep us all hashtag stay at home. Why doesn't that hashtag stay at home apply for the 9 Iranian terrorists that were picked up at the border with Mexico? These people are not vetted. They're coming into the United States. They're not vaccinated if you're afraid of COVID-19. So, yeah, what can I say? Bella, do you got any final thoughts to say before we say goodnight?
All I want to say is we got to fight, baby, fight. And this is, when we said that 2020 was the most important election, 2024 is, because if we lose our freedoms here, there is nowhere else to go. And the other countries that rely on America are watching. And if we fall, they all fall.
That's tremendous. You're absolutely right. There's nowhere to go. I mean, this is freedom's last frontier. And I'm reminded, I don't know, of a line from operatic tradition from I can't remember the name of the opera, but it's written by Puccini, and it's something like "O tu che la festa, audace turbato, Dangello d'inferno chi fosti guidato, Ivano di detto di quanta lantana va treba vigliado de lira sovrana." And it's basically a curse. And I don't understand why in this day and age we have to deal with people who hate us so much that they want to completely undo and topple our civilization. If anyone believes that potato Biden won 80 gazillion gajillion votes, more than any other president in human history, more than Obama, they really are a head case. Like you said, we don't see the Democrats celebrating that he won. The Democrats don't seem happy at all. If they're so safe and secure, why aren't they happy? They're still threatening to burn down Minneapolis all over again. But I opened up a whole new can of worms, right?
Well, this is the thing. This is our opportunity to calmly, respectfully have conversations with people that don't understand. The Democratic Party has been hijacked. It's been hijacked by the radicals, the Squab, the Ilhan Omars, the Taliba Rashab, whatever the hell her name is. These far radicals that Pelosi wasn't able to get. That Pelosi wasn't able to get her grip around. Pelosi is speaker by name. It's the far radicals that have taken over. I mean, these are radical. I mean, when you look at the fact that besides the wide open border, crack open the Green New Deal. I mean, we were energy independent for the first time under the Trump administration.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to try and keep opening up more because we will run too long. But the thing is, if you just have simple conversations about what is happening to this country and the fact that, and I'll leave you with this idea. When Barack Hussein Obama got into office, there were a lot of people that never thought, worried, or cared about politics. The name alone disturbed people. Then when they watched all the anti-American agendas, No More Merry Christmas, the rainbow colors on the White House, they didn't even go and see when Bibi came from Israel, all these anti-American, okay? Where's the patriotism right now in this administration? Where is the America first? Where are all of the policies coming out are about high inflation, taxation. We're going right back to the Paris Accord. We're going right back to, we will be sending pallets of unmarked dollars to Iran within months, if it's not already happening now.
Yeah, I think there's already been some cash transfers, and also the purchasing of oil is a way of exchanging cash or other value for oil that creates petrodollars, and the petrodollars end up coming back to Rochester, Minnesota to purchase real estate or create grandiose development projects for, lo and behold, wealthy Middle Easterners who want to retire outside their countries. They want pied-à-terre here in Minnesota. So when we talk about it, it all comes home to roost. Our mayor wants to speak about affordable housing here in Rochester, but our young people are competing with petrodollars from the Middle East. Why should a 20-something-year-old man or woman have to compete with people who come here with petrodollars, with kings and queens and princes and princesses? It's truly bizarre. You have to put America first in all of those H-1B visas that they're going to roll out again. But not only that, Americans do want to work. And if you take, the Democrats promised a $15 wage, right? A minimum wage. Well, those wages are going to be depressed when people arrive here who are willing to work off the books illegally for $7 or $8 an hour. They're depressing the local wage market for young Americans. I don't like it at all.
When gas hits over $3, $4 a gallon, when you're going to the grocery stores and your food and everything that you are purchasing has inflated 10% or if not more, when your paycheck continues to shrink because of the high taxation, these will be the things that will get the average American, the hate Trump, voted for Biden just for a vote against Trump. Those people will start thinking and asking themselves, because that is not what they voted for, and that's not what they experienced during the 4 years when the bad man, Orange Man, was in office.
Orange Man bad. But Bella, at least there's no more mean tweets.
Well, if that is where your head is at, that you're happy that there's no mean tweets, I suggest you grab a big old bottle of Banque and smother it all over yourself to take care of your hurt feelings, because hurt feelings are one thing, but when you can't afford to get in your vehicle, to go to the grocery store, go on a vacation, does anybody really remember what the atmosphere was like back in 08 and 09?
Right.
Well, we'll be right back to those days.
Right. That was another type of reset prior to this Davos reset and COVID-19. This China Wu flu is an opportunity for an economic reset of the United States to inflate our currency, reduce its value. It's sort of funny when I talk to guys who think their retirements are secure, and maybe they're counting on dying within a short period of time, but if they plan on living for any amount of time, they better be concerned about what will be the new level of value assigned to the American dollar by the United Nations. And we're getting off into the World Economic Forum land. I think we have a number let's talk again soon, rather than, because we hit a nice moment here where it's just the right amount of time to break off, and the video might get upped by the Google Analytics if I share it out and you share it out, and we'll just see where
No, I've got to jump on another conference call, and then we can talk later on. But this has been great. I'm super excited to meet you in person. Can't wait to meet Trevor Loudon, and can't wait to do some more recordings together. Thank you.
Yes, we'll see you down the road, Bella. Drive safe out there, okay? Drive safe. Bye-bye.